morning. Welcome to Bible Meditation on Book of Daniel. Today we're going to look at chapter 3. So we have another issue here. See, after the king was given the dream and Daniel interpreted the dream and that he's the head, which is the gold. So the king Nebuchadnezzar somehow had an idea where he actually wanted to build a statue of himself of a gold. And here's a picture of it. And so the king says, whenever the trumpet is blown, everybody must bow down and worship the idol. And here, Daniel's friend, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they did not fall down and worship the idol. And so now the king was angry. Remember that story? Perhaps when you were children, you heard this story. And so the king was angry. Is this true? That when the trumpet is blown, you did not worship? And so the king says, I'm not sure if he thought they were lying. And so right in front of everybody, I want to blow the trumpet. And as the trumpet is blown, Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego did not bow down and worship their idol. And here's what they said. Daniel chapter 3 verse 17 and 18 says this. If this be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, be it be known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. Wow. It is incredible what they're saying. They're saying, we're not going to worship you because we believe that our God is going to deliver us. But they said, whether he delivers or not, we're still not going to worship you. Here is the test of faith. You see, when some people pray, God, I pray to you, and if you do this to me, I believe you will help me. If you give me this, I believe you are with me. In other words, what they're saying is they're gambling with God. If you give me this, I believe you are with me. But if you don't give me this, I believe you're not with me. But Meshach and Abednego and his three friends, they said, it doesn't matter. God, whether you give me this or not, we are still going to worship you. And that's the genuine faith of a person. Faith is not what you see, but what you don't see, but you believe. And if it doesn't happen, you still believe. And that's what faith is. That's the faith that God has called his people to follow. And so the king Nebuchadnezzar was so angry. So you're saying that your God will deliver you. But you also said that if you die, you're still not going to worship me. Well, let's see what kind of faith you have. And so he was so angry that he turned the furnace 7 times hotter. And even the guard who was trying to push them, it was so hot that they were not able to bear the heat. But ultimately they threw them into the furnace. And they were in the furnace. And the king Nebuchadnezzar was so surprised. He was talking to his servants. Wasn't it 3 people that I sent? Why do I see another person? But that 4th person, it looks like a god. And so the king Nebuchadnezzar went to the furnace closely enough. And he called Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, come outside. And they came outside. And not even the hair was burnt. And the king Nebuchadnezzar was amazed. And here's what he says. The Nebuchadnezzar answered, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him, and set aside the king's command and yielded up their bodies rather than serve and worship any god except their own God. Therefore I will make a decree. Any people, nations, or language that speaks anything against the God of Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego will be torn to limb from limb, and their houses laid in ruin. For there is no other God who is able to rescue in this way. Then the king promoted Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego in the province of Babylon. Wow, what an incredible. Here, King Nebuchadnezzar was amazed, and now he's began to worship God. And he says, if people don't worship the God that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego worship, then I will kill you and rest of all your family. And so you better worship this God, because he is the true God. Isn't it amazing that because of their faith now, not only they were rescued, but King Nebuchadnezzar saw who God was. Another thing that I want you to notice, you see the Jewish people, the Israelites, they were in captivity. And as they're in captivity, their house was burned, their nation is destroyed, the temple is destroyed. And they remember Jeremiah says after 70 years they will come back. But I'm sure they lost all hope. And then what happened? They heard a news where these 3 young Israelite people have done a miracle. And now the king declared that they must worship the God of Israel. And here people found hope and faith once again. And all this was possible because of these 3 young men have faith in God. And so I want to encourage you. In this time is difficult. Life seems a little bit dark, isn't it? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. And so we have a choice. Are we going to glorify God and have faith in God like them? Or are we going to just live our lives? So I want to encourage you, if you're watching this, God is speaking to you and I today. We may not be like Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego. We might not be able to do miracles like them. But God is encouraging us today. May we have faith like them. And when we have faith like them, then people will know that our God is still alive. And so keep your faith strong in the Lord. And one day God will deliver you. And when God delivers you, then may you worship God, so that the world will know that our God is alive. Well, thank you for your time today. I hope that you had a wonderful time as you go through the Bible meditation book of Daniel. Tomorrow, Peter and Alan will share the Word of God in book of Matthew. Well, I'll be praying for you, and let us continue to serve the Lord with all our hearts. Well, thank you, and God bless you. And I will see you next week.